day of the 26th of April, 2012, here in Dan's Lodge in Umtata. And I'm told that this area is a ward falling under Nyandi. If we dream together, plan together, stand together against all forms of resistance and strive together, we can have another Madiba of the moment in our own lifetime. We must remind ourselves that our revolution is to achieve political freedom, which was also part of our own national democratic revolution. In order to remind ourselves that our revolution is to achieve this, was a non-state driven revolution. Where civil society proved equal to the task at all material times. Whether it was women's marches against past laws, or student uprising in Soweto, or for formation of UDF during the burning of our political parties, it was a broader society that held it together. We made an assertion that this government alone cannot overcome all the problems and the malice we have to face. So today, with great excitement, we achieve this initiative that seeks to partner with government to empower our own people to realize their dreams, establish business, and move beyond looking at the profit as the sole driver and the only preoccupation of our already empowered Africans, but to partner with society.
So how typically my birthday works is that it's while I'm able to engage with all of you guys one-on-one, a lot of you are not able to engage amongst each other. So today really is about allowing you guys, the people that are close to my heart and who've made an impact this year, allowing you guys to network, to interact, to get to know each other. I reflect over the year and all the people that have made a significant difference in my life in that particular year, whether positive or negative. Because remember that sometimes it's negative. So, and there are some people who are here who made a negative impact, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. There are some other people who thought they would be here, but they're not here. So it means that they have not contributed to my growth this year.
From a corporate governance perspective, it is important to have a diverse set of views. So having 9 CAs or so on your board doesn't mean you've got a strong board. You need to have a diversity of views, a diversity of backgrounds, diversity of perspectives.
Blockchain is going to change the world. I don't think, if anyone is not sure about that, I can honestly tell you, it's going to change the world. Bitcoin is going to bust. So the only advice I give to all the guys who buy Bitcoin, do you know what the price of an Amazon share was before the .com bust? It was $100. Do you know what was the price of an Amazon share after the bust? It was $7. So if you mortgaged your house to buy Amazon shares before the .com bust, you would be fucked.
Because smart cities can only function if there is interconnectivity of these silos that we're talking about. So that is where blockchain can really come and deliver value in the public space, is to interconnect all these things so that the smart building applications, the smart metering applications, the transport can all talk to each other, the health and education can all talk to each other so that they can deliver value for us as citizens.
One of the key pillars of the plan is active citizenry. The issue of leadership, active citizenry, and the capable state are viewed as the critical drivers of implementation. The implementation of the plan is not a government plan, but the plan requires a capable state for us to push forward. But what is important is that we need to make sure we push for leadership in government, in private sector, because what
Bahel was born. And really Bahel is a company where we are looking to harness the economic power of black investors and then utilize and invest that in a way that drives economic transformation in the country. And there's three. We'd like to, as a small token of our appreciation for tonight and for everyone coming, just to do a draw for the first 1,000 rands worth of shares in TIP once we list. So
If you enter into any position of power, there's a lot that comes with that. There's enrichment, there's compensation. The higher you go, the more you earn. We all want to be welcome. Really, let's be frank and be honest with each other. We work for money. But what will it take you, what will it take me to earn money? Do you do it at any cost? Do you do it against your principles and values? Do you do it at the expense of other people? Or do you do it at the greater benefit of everyone else? So,
ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy yourselves. I hope that we've sparked something in your mind, and there are going to be conversations that happen after this. I think there's been very interesting views that have been expressed tonight. So please feel free to have a conversation with anyone and everyone. Enjoy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? So welcome to everyone tonight. I'm really happy that you're here. If I was to theme today, I would really theme it intimate conversations. What is the conversation that you are having about South Africa and Africa? Right? And I ask that because for me, the message that gets out is the one thing. The other message is of how it's received and how from the outside in. So what is the view from the outside in?
I spent actually a lot of my time trying to allay the fears of my friends and family because they all believe that South Africa is a place that's beautiful, yes, for natural geography, lots of opportunity, but it's a place that is not safe. And so Africans have to stop thinking of African Americans as people who are just ignorant and trying to pretend to be Africans. And then African Americans have got to stop thinking of Africans as being people who are savage and corrupt.
What are those conversations that are happening? Again, I'm working from the outside in, right? How are, from a continental point of view, right? What are those conversations? What is the view from the outside in? Because a lot of people that I talk to say, you know what, actually South Africans, we want you to view South Africa as you are in the doldrums, because this is where come and make a lot of millions.
Africa and doing business in Africa is hard. And I think a lot of South Africans in their arrogance didn't question enough of the building blocks that in South Africa you can just bank. So I mean, I worked at Old Mutual Insure. I'll talk to my friend there just now. And now if you are replacing windscreens, you just assume that you've got glass fit, so you just send people to glass fit, but there is no glass fit. You want to do monthly premium collection, but the bank system and payroll deductions and so on, they are not there. So I honestly believe that what has made it hard for a lot of South African companies is that there's been that arrogance of not really understanding what's there. Old Mutual compared to Sanlam, and I say that having been from the one that's done less well, Sanlam didn't try to go into control. They went with minority stakes, which meant that they couldn't control it, which meant they had to actually listen to the local people who understood the place better. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things. MMI is at the moment busy pulling back out of Africa. Some of that's because we need to focus here, but it's just areas where it's been hard, and you find that your bandwidth is spread very thin in terms of tackling those things. So finding enough really good people who can work through the hard to get to the success on the other side is the big challenge. But that's also the opportunity. So let's try and be a little bit more hopeful. I think that growing talent and growing people who are able to find those solutions, once you've worked through the hard, that becomes a barrier to entry for anybody to follow you. So I think that maybe I'm just talking from the point of view of my passion around talent and people. That's in the end what makes it successful is getting the right team of people together with the right skills. The opportunities are there, but you need to go with enough humility and not think that you have all the answers before you've got there.
When you spoke about a radical socio-economic transformation, I think that, and I don't know, but I think that it has to start from the ground up, meaning that from an SME and empowering SMEs to employ others and really spread the pie. I don't know, but Spiwa, you need to come up here, my friend, and just come and tell me, where's this money coming from?
So this point here, this is the problem with South Africa. Whenever black people are doing something, there must be something dodgy. And we need to change that perception.
Yeah.
We need to be able to stand up and say, we as black professionals are able to do this for ourselves. We can raise 4.3 billion rand. We can give away money to the unions and let them invest in our businesses. And it goes to this whole thing about Africa when we say, you know, doing business in Africa is hard. No, it's not. We're in Africa. We are right here. We are here. This is Africa. So if we're going to be hard in Africa, it must be hard over here. And it's not about arrogance. It's about us being able to say, let's go and make it happen.
There is enough wealth in South Africa to drive transformation, drive social and economic transformation without waiting for government. So I'm going to give you a quick stat. We estimate that there is 700 billion rand of wealth sitting on black household balance sheets in South Africa. Excluding whites, I'm looking at black household balance sheets, excluding property and money in the bank. So those are formal savings. That is a huge amount of money that can be mobilized to do stuff. And the problem is that there's often this belief that you can either have social investing, you're going to invest for good, or you can invest for profit. And they're the opposites. And in fact, we think that they are actually mutually supportive. In fact, they're not opposites. They actually work together. But really what we want to do is accessing savings in South Africa, from all backgrounds. We want to then channel those savings into areas where there's a scarcity of capital. It could be rural areas, it could be SMME, small businesses, it can be large businesses, where you can then have a social impact and you can actually create an investment return.
For me, if I just sum up and summarize the evening, it's really to say South Africa is alive with possibilities. And for me, I think, Malusi, to your question earlier on what you wanted to achieve today. When great minds come together, right, it sparks something that's much bigger than what we can anticipate. So that's the first thing, is really connect with that nearly you wouldn't connect with. That'll actually, take things to greater level. But also, it's to spark a thought within you, such that when we are outside having drinks, you're able to pull on all these different people who have got diverse views. I promise you guys that we always have diverse views. If we want to take this country forward, if we want to take the continent forward, if we want to take the globe.
Sanbonani. You know the beautiful part is that you guys are under my control. We will repeat this thing end to end up until I feel the energy. Sanbonani. Sanbonani. Molweni. Dumelang. Abshe. Aibo. You see, now we are going to other languages. What's the problem? Are we not supposed to be South Africans? Sanbonani. Molweni. Dumelang. Abshe. How do we say it in French? Bonjour. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, firstly, for coming. I think that possibly when you came here, you probably didn't have an understanding of why you're here. Let me also greet the guys who are online, and let me apologize to everyone for starting about 15 minutes, 45 minutes late. The reason being is, of course, you're in four ways, and the traffic to four ways is a bit hectic, and we had a number of people coming from Pretoria, so we had to accommodate that. Also, we could see that, the mingling was going on, so we certainly didn't want to disturb the mingling. So, apologies. So, again, let me welcome everyone. Let me welcome, without necessarily mentioning or singling out people, but we're quite honored to have sitting in here in the front row our delegation from the Republic of Senegal. We've also got Michael here, who is from the American Chamber of Commerce. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. I'm just worried that there are no ladies here. I'm very worried. I think next time we should make sure that there's a cross-pollination. I also want to just acknowledge Utatu Seth Mazibuko over there. So Utatu Seth is one of the people that during June 1976 was one of the activists who were there live and in front. So, Mdomtala, we just want to acknowledge, if you can just rise so that people can see you. I think this is a stalwart. He's been through, he's seen a lot, he's been through a lot, so really, really appreciative. And also, I'm just acknowledging everyone. If I were to acknowledge everyone, each one of you, we certainly would be here the whole night. So just to maybe kick things off, I think what we're going to do, we're just going to do introductions, but here's how we're going to do introductions, because it's important that we all know each other. Now, you see, for an example like this table, these people know each other. I'm very worried. So the point is that, the first thing is that, can people that know each other go to somewhere that you don't know? Can we do that? And I know who knows who and who doesn't know who. Can we do that cross-sitting, please? No. Guys, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. You at this table here. No. As in, go and sit somewhere else. As in, go and sit somewhere else. Guys, we are not. Can I have your attention? Sorry, can I have your attention? Noisemakers outside, can I have your attention? Okay, so maybe English yam is not too good, ne? Can you look left? Can you look right? Can you look to the front? If those people, you know them, can you move tables? Otherwise, I'm going to forcefully move you. Move tables, please. There's no such. No. These IT veterans, no. No, these IT veterans, no. This is autocratic leadership.
autocratic leadership.
It works in this country and in the continent. Are you sure you don't like I feel so alone there? Why don't you guys join me there?
We love you like this. We see you so.
Okay. So here's how we're going to do. Andile Stofile, uyabaza abantu hleli nabo. Can you move? Can you move? I'm going to call you out now one by one. Mr. Mbete, you are not. No, Nyazana. Okay, no, we'll forgive you. No, we'll forgive you. It's fine. Eastern Cape delegation, please. Can you split up? Can you guys go and find somewhere else to sit? Guys, this is not a difficult. I promise you, it's not difficult. Okay, so if you can I just ask then that there's really 3 questions that I would like for you guys just to deliberate upon in just introducing yourself, right? And it's just going to be, just pick maybe 5 people around you, just groups of 5. And there's 3 questions that I want you guys to answer amongst the group. And there's going to be prizes for people that can remember in depth about the rest of the 4 people. There's going to be prizes, beautiful prizes. So here's question number 1. No, hold on. Here's question number 1. So if you couldn't fail, what would you be doing? So if you could not fail, 0, what would you be doing? Do we get question number 1? Did we get it? Did we get it? Okay. The second one, if you had $1 billion, what would you be doing? Remember, you can't fail. You've got $1 billion. What would you be doing? And on top of that, you've got 6 months to live. Did we get the 3 questions? Who's not clear about the questions? So if you had 6 months to live, 3 questions. All right. So can I ask that we're going to spend just 5 or so minutes, and whoever remembers the most, but go into depth. Right? Don't go and just, please make sure, okay, we've got 5 minutes. Let's go ahead. These questions, you guys have been together. Yeah. Oh, no. We don't know. Stop. Just come on. Yes. Yeah, but you guys know each other. This is my issue. But it's fine. Okay, guys, can you do the exercise, please? Yeah. Can you do the exercise? Can you see from our side, can they write question first? So this is what so let's go to the okay, and then second, no comments, questions. So I'll also ask them to announce it here. So you understand this?
Okay. You guys have had your 5 minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes is fine. 5 more minutes. And to the guys online, can I also ask you just to introduce yourselves? The guys online, please just introduce yourself in the comment corner.
Yeah, so this is what. So there was one camera that's recording.
Two more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Okay, guys, your time is up. You're up. Nopala, Apo Ngasemba, can you just pull the people towards the people, please? Okay, so I'm going to then, where's the roaming mic? Sharp. We're going to start at this table. Ne? So you need to, remember you're doing an executive summary of the whole tape. Hey, you know these elders, no problem. Can you start over there? Problem is they haven't had the high blood medication. That's a problem. So who's representing this table? Okay, start there. Start there. No, okay, so we've got our first volunteer. Osis Quiet as our first volunteer. So please introduce everyone and answer the questions on their behalf. Guys, sorry. Please. Yeah, I'll do that more often. I think that's the only way. Okay, so SSV.
Does it work?
I'm going to call you guys out one by one, in naughty corners. So, okay, we're going to start here. SSV Quieter. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
If you don't mind standing up, just maybe introduce yourself, who are you, and then the rest.
Okay. I'm Koita Matikizela. So I have Belinda. What Belinda will do if she were to have 6 months to live is to invest all her time in people development. She would then progress with her mentorship that she's been trying to do in the fashion industry. If she had $1 billion, she would then also invest a lot of that money into that portion of her pet peeve. And then, I've covered you, right? And then Musa. So Musa would do exactly what he does. If he had 6 months to live and he had $1 billion, he would continue on the vein of, so he feels that his life has always been a wing and a prayer, so he'll continue on that vein. And what would you do with your 6 months? He will travel the world.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Palesa Babili, and I'll start with me. So if I had 6 months to live, I would not sleep in the same city until I die. If I had $1 billion, I would, and I had to do something that I couldn't fail at, I would feed everybody in the world. So I'd probably be known as that girl who made the world obese. So yeah. And here we have Billy. Billy would sail. If he had 6 months to live, he would sail until he dies. With the $1 billion, he would... No, you're sailing. So already you bought the yacht. He would fix Eskom. That's what he would fix Eskom. So with all the infrastructure and resources and human capital that's required, so that's the $1 billion, and if he had to do something that he wouldn't fail. And here we have Michael. So Michael, firstly, he would drink, number one. So he's from Eldo, he's colored, and he would pay tribute to his culture, he would drink. 2, he would build rehabilitation centers for every township in the country to deal with drug addiction for the $1 billion. And if he had something, if he could do something and he wouldn't fail, so he would build in each and every township in the world, he would build a rehabilitation center to deal with the drug program. Here we have Sipogazi. She would be on the beach until she dies. So regardless of which beach, if there's wind and rain, she will be chasing summer everywhere until she dies. For the $1 billion, she would try to change the world by educating children, bringing education systems to every child in the world. And that also feeds into something that she could do without fail. And Sanela, who went to the bathroom, oh, there she is. She would build a theater in her hometown in the Eastern Cape and promote arts and culture, because that's something she's very passionate about. With the $1 billion, if she could do something and she wouldn't fail, she would learn everything she can't do now. So guaranteed. And for the 6 months of her life, she would buy all the LVs in the world and Gucci's. And that is the 5 of us. Thank you.
Wonderful. So we're going to go to the back there. Can I ask, each group, can you be 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3 is not going to work. Just 6 or 7 people, you introduce 6 or 7 people. At the very back.
At the back.
Those queens, yeah, those queens at the back.
Hello, everybody. My name is Siyamatigane. To answer the question, if I couldn't fail, I would open a digital radio station that broadcasts throughout the world, and I would use the $1 billion to do that, and then I would make sure that it's fully functional by the time I die in 6 months. It's my 3 questions. Vanessa, right next to me here, Nkubela, she would spend the money traveling the world.
So already you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot already. You see, you've got the A team there of very powerful women. Men in this regard are very weak. Please hand over to the ladies to do it.
Oh my word. This is bad. Okay. I'm not traveling the world. Oh, should also use some of the money to fix ESCOM. And then Pumza, Jani, right next to me, she'd use it to feed the poor, and then some of it to travel, and then hopefully she dies in the 6 months. And then, and then Zaini Nkukwana, she would use the money for skills development and to travel the world. Or develop skills of rural communities. And then hopefully she also spends the money traveling and hopefully finishes it before she dies in 6 months.
Good evening, all. My name is Sonwabise. So some of us combined the questions. I did. I would travel and use the 1 billion to identify businesses to give them that money so they can get some funding, and I'd just die doing that. Hopefully sleeping. Utumo, he also combined, he said he would buy Formula 1 cars and he'd spend the rest of the 4 months just racing them. I think he'll be dead in 2 weeks, I don't know. Happy. Happy, what's the first question? He, if he could do anything, he would be a cricket player, number 4. $1 billion, he would go and fix Ekomani. He hates how it's looking currently. And for 6 months, he would spend time with his mother and just getting close to his mom. Ulubumba, if he could do anything, he would study AS and hopefully come up with something really amazing, like a really cool solution. Actuarial science, what do you mean? I was a smart apple. Andile doesn't hang out with fools. Next off. Then $1 billion, he actually doesn't care. He's like, whatever. It's not his thing. And then 6 months, he'd go home. He'd just go home.
So we're just going to take the mic outside. We'll come back. The naughty corners here are making a noise. So if you don't mind just killing that microphone. So you got the person who's the representative must come here, please. Please.
Spotlight. Okay, my name's Paula Quincy from Engaged Humans. And from our table, we have Sims or Simone, Akona, Loiso, and Babs. And in terms of what we would do, so we have someone that is a space fanatic who wants to put himself into a box if he's only got 6 months to live, and when his time is up, he wants to put himself in a box and shoot off into space and live happily ever after, freezing his brain, that when he comes to the other side, they can hopefully research the human species, right? Okay. We've got Babs, who's going to take his money and he's going to go back to his village and turn it into a smart village, right? Akona is going to build a university, become the CEO of the university, and help empower and uplift the youth. She's got passion for youth. Sims, who is passionate about healthy lifestyle, so healthy eating and exercise, and she is going to help you love eating healthy and exercise, and that it just becomes part of your life and it's a fun in the process. And for myself, it's about human connection, and it's about bringing the human back into everything that we do. And so I would continue what I'm doing right now, and with the money, I would impact people's lives to bring the human back into your home and into the workplace, because I think we've lost touch with human connection. And that's it from our table.
I got bamboozled into coming here, but I don't remember most of it. I just got handed the mic. No, I just got handed the mic, and well, I had to write down people's names. Sve, Dali, Kutloano, myself, Ditsaho, Abdul, and Sonke. We're at that table there. We kind of had a group agreement that we would all give the money away and live on what we can for the time that we have left. One of our members very cheekily said that he would buy Eskom and resolve load shedding, and then the additional cherry was that we should all travel. So that was about it. Thank you.
I got balls. Right. Hi, my name is Jean from Good Governance Africa. I'm sitting right here with these beautiful people. Not you, but the others. You're beautiful though. Yes, so, right, I'm just gonna go around what my teammate said, or my table mate. So one of them said that they will ensure that they become like Minister of Happiness and make sure that every single person in the world can experience the joy and happiness no matter what. That's how they're gonna use the money. I said I'm gonna do me for like 4 months. Probably go to Vegas and experience things that I've never experienced. And then afterwards, I will probably take care of some orphans and make sure that they get enough to get an education, because people don't care about orphans most of the time. So that's what I would think about, just so I can leave a legacy and people can remember me. And there was a similar idea as well from one of my teammates who said that for the first 4 months as well, he's going to do him. And then after that, he's going to make sure that the children are taken care of, his family builds some trust and everything. And what else was there? Yes, same thing. There was another one that said that they won't do anything. They will just focus on their health, you know, to make sure that they are good. And but in general, we were talking about, you know, just giving back, so that some people can be happy, you know. But the first thing that came to mind was family, taking care of the family, because 6 months is not a lot of time. Thank you.
Yoni?
Hello guys, what a great honor to be here tonight. I first want to give a big hug to my brother next to me. We sat next to each other in primary school. This is it's a very emotional and a very proud moment for him and for me to see that we've grown up from competing on 1 + 1 = 2. But here we are now. He's the grown man. I'm in my corner there, little corner, and we did our whole summary. And I've got Tapelo there. And please do meet Tapelo, especially for the black entrepreneurs who might be in the room. They do enterprise development. They support small black businesses. in growing and scaling up their businesses. So he's here right now to welcome. They've got lots of funds to dish out for good businesses. And let's just give him a round of applause that they can do that. So Tabelo being recently married, you can imagine what his inspirations are. He says that if he had 6 months to live, he would want to go and have an experience of life with his wife. And that means beauty, culture, travel, food, arts, the festivals, everything globally. So, Tabelo, we wish you all of that if that would happen. I'll move over to my new boss, Kinelwe. And for her, if she had 1 billion even rands, let's not even talk dollars, 1 billion rands, she would like to reclaim the land of her people in Tabancho. And she'd want to get that land back for her people and plow and grow back and give to it. And if she had a change of mind of what she wants to do for career, she still says she'd like to still stay employed with me. But you can understand, she's just saying that because I'm here, right, guys? Tapelo equally says if he had a 1 billion rands, he would want to just get the black tax out of his way. He'd want to set up his whole family, kill all of their debt. Nobody must have debt anymore, and they must be able to be self-sustainable so his new marriage can flourish without black tax. I appreciate that. And personally for me, if I could do anything with 1 billion rands, it would be split towards 2 things. Malcolm, I never got to meet you, but can I meet you? I just heard of your name. Who was Malcolm? About the rehabilitation centers in South Africa? It was a Mike. Yeah, sorry, Mike, I made a mistake. Mike, I would work alongside you, and I would make sure that they cater for what I call the biggest disaster that faces our country, which is the psychological safety of our people, which is depression, it's anxiety, it's post-traumatic stress disorder, and COVID has not helped in the least. I would support your cause fully. And the rest, I'd give you half. The rest of that, I would support orphanages in South Africa. I'm standing here as a mother of 2 adopted children. My youngest one is turning 5 in June, and adopted from Dove's Nest in Pretoria. I would give Dove's Nest that to have an education center for the children, that they learn technology, and that their aspirations are not like us, of doctors or a lawyer, but rather have IT skills, artificial intelligence, and all that's required for the future. If I had 6 months to live, I'd move to Inyambane in Mozambique, and I'd spend that 6 months on the beach walking with my husband and my daughter. And Andile, I'm proud of you, and I love you.
Oyoni was giving a keynote speech there. Maybe I must sit my ass down. Sonwabo, Anda, who's the representative? Linz, Dion. Oh, were you guys spoken for? No, I'm watching you guys. Okay, let's go to Marilyn. Are you representing?
Yes, I am. Evening, my name is Marilyn White Hadebe. I've got Len over here. Len, in fact, I think this is a group of control freaks. It's all about sorting out. That's something we all said. For the first 3 months, we'll sort out our business in terms of wills, who gets what, funeral, who mustn't do what, must do what. That's something we all agreed upon. Next 3 months was bucket list, whatever the bucket list consists of. In terms of spending the 1 billion, Len and I were in agreement that, it will be spent on education centers for particularly women and girls. And Uvuyo would be spending the 1 billion on socioeconomic activities, especially concerning entrepreneurs, because that is something she's involved in terms of ESD. And then the last thing, the one thing we will not fail at, Len and I were in agreement that would be parenting. And Uvuyo here is said it's her personal development. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason why you see us skeptical as to whether we're going to have the mic or not, it is purely because we sat here and we tried to dissect what does the word failure mean actually? And because, well, we believe that we don't necessarily fail, but we learn lessons along the way. But eventually we got to say, okay, well, he would go back to his hometown and try and develop the community and make a difference there. And also, he then said he's not even sure if he failed at his PhD thing, but he thinks he would like to try that again. But, you know, along the way, and still not accepting that we're failing, that he's learned so many things. So that PhD thing is not really that a big deal, but nevertheless, yeah. And you said you would go back and also develop, give money to charity, I think that's what he said. And there's also traveling of the world that I mentioned, and I think, what else did you mention? Digital skills, yes, digital skills. That's what he would do. And I said I would really just build a school. I think that's the most important thing. And like I said, we really just got stuck at failing thing. We don't failers. We just learn many lessons as we go along.
Zaz, did I get it wrong? But I didn't hear you mentioning the people's names. Or was it just me?
Oh,
it's very important to remember the people's names.
Oh, that's Cecil there, and Makabongo, I think this gentleman here.
Okay, yeah, so before you guys start, you see, there's this table, ne? Like I said, these guys haven't eaten medication, high, in their low blood. So we just want to make sure these senior citizens, we just engage them. I'm not sure who's going to be a representative, but I am very worried. Either way.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Andile, for the invite. My name is Mutibi Ramusi. Oh, okay. Yeah, good evening once more. My name is Mutibi Ramusi. I'm representing the veterans of the ICT industry on this table. So, yeah, I think if one fails, really, we just need to make sure that we empower the youth. And I think a similar engagement like tonight, it's what will make sure that it happens all the time. And more especially to avoid self-entitlement. You know, these things of grants. We don't encourage that. And obviously, with $1 billion, we'll change the regime. Anything that doesn't work, we change with that money for a good purpose. And I think that's what, because it's all in the mindset, and it must be a radical change, but in a responsible manner. That's what we'll do. And most importantly, because health is important, we will build health facilities to make sure that we stay for more than 6 months. Otherwise, if we don't have that health facility, we'll die. Yeah. It's what has to happen. Keep yourself alive forever so that you continue to do the good things. And yeah, with the 6 months, it will be a continuous transformation, engagement, like as we're doing it tonight, so that the youth can take over from the veterans here. And Mongezi, he's here. Of all what I just said, he'll make sure that he saves all the good things for the future. And I have Elijah here. Elijah believes in spending. So that money of building the health center, that's what he's going to do with that money. And Trevor, I've got Trevor. Trevor is an investor, investing in human capital mind. That's what Trevor will do. The same with Tom. Tom is our eldest, and he tells us that as an older person, you need to make sure that there's continuous life. So that's what he'll invest in. And lastly, Malemani, he's a very quiet man. He'll just make sure that he stays to make people that are organized, like tonight. So that's our group, and that's from the elders, from the veterans. Thank you.
Yeah, you see, I was expecting one of these, when you're walking to the stage, but you can see they're fresh. So speaking about a health center, so let me help them with the health center. Simi, come here, please. So Simi is going to, for this table, Simi, please. Can you arrange sessions for them? Just explain what you do and the vouchers that you're going to give these senior citizens. Again, we don't want them to be a makroko. Please.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm Sims, or Simone, everyone calls me Sims, and my studio is in Broadacres, Fourways, and I have created this beautiful program where I've literally studied heart, brain, and the physique of women specifically, and men, and I've created a program that takes, if you think of health and diet, what do you think? You want to run away, right? So I have literally created a program where your food is amazing and exercise is exciting and people are getting addicted to it, where they see physical and psychological and emotional change in their lives, where in their own families and in their own businesses, just because they are becoming the best version of themselves, they are more productive in their families, they're more productive in their businesses, environments, and in their relationships. So it is such an honor, and I actually stand here with goosebumps, where it is so life-changing that tonight I said to Andile, I have literally 100 vouchers for every single one of you, where you can come to my studio and I'll do a complimentary body assessment for you to see if you need more protein or water or whatever you need. I'm there to give it to you complimentary tonight. And you will get a free session as well as a eating lifestyle plan. So all my plans are literally pH balanced, and it's literally there to see body results and change your life and reset your age genetics to make us younger and more productive in every area of our lives. So, so it is such an honor to be here. And I think I met Andile like 8 years ago, and it was a beautiful connection. So I'm all about life change and impacting not only your businesses, but your families and your quality relationships. And it is completely life-changing. So your vouchers will be handed out. So thank you for this beautiful opportunity. And you are VIP as soon as you walk up those stairs at Strength in Motion. And that's what I am.
Simi, you actually gave it away because I wanted it to be special for these senior citizens. You mustn't speak about what we spoke about. But, and we're going to come to the rest of it. Thanks, Simi. So, when we speak about leadership with a soul, right? This is the kind of things that we're speaking to when people put their hands up and say, you know what, how can we contribute towards the group? Because you can imagine that particular voucher probably costs about 1.5 to 2,000 rands. Right? But, she's willing to sacrifice for each and every person that is here because she's saying, I want to put my hand up. I want to be part of this movement. So, Simi, can you give her a round of applause, please? And I must say that this is not a pitch-a-thon. Hence I said I just wanted you to give these 6, but I give you all. Can we go back to, there's a group that needed to introduce themselves.
I don't know what's going on. I'm being hijacked. All right, thank you, Andile. So I've been hijacked by another group, so now I also have to introduce them. So we have Pila, we have Linda, and we have Tsidiso, and then we have myself, Pumla, we have, as he introduced himself, Old Man Seth, otherwise known as Braseth, and we have Viwe and we have Zooks, right? So in terms of what we would do with our spare time, oh, Faith, I'm sorry, because I've been hijacked, so I overlooked you, sorry about that. Quickly, what we would do with our $1 billion humanitarian work, and I'm not going to specify who would do that, but there's a focus on humanitarian work, there's a focus on fixing ESCOM, there's a focus on youth entrepreneurship, there's a focus on dealing with the lost middle lost, what's that thing? Tertiary education for the lost middle, providing bursaries for that. And then Viwe was quite interested in how our youth seems to be lost in terms of their career choices, and she would want to spend time, her money rather, or her $1 billion focusing on how we support youth with making the right career choices, things that will make them happy and live happily ever after. And in terms of what we would do within the 6 months, it was all about self, focusing on family, grandkids. We won't say who would be grandkids, but there's that as well. Living on an island and dancing her life away, and traveling with family. That was important. And yeah, I hope that's it. Thank you.
Is there any group that we haven't done? No, we're coming here. Oh, shucks, yeah. That side.
Thanks, Andile. So the name Malcolm was brought up, so I'm Malcolm. So in our group we have Anthony, who has a passion for waterways and conservation of waterways. So if he couldn't fail, he would find a solution to clean up all the waterways. And then in his last 6 months, he would spend his life fishing those waterways. Then Sandy would design a gadget for humans to fly on their own. And she would spend her $1 million commercializing the human flight. And she would make sure that she does that within her 6 months that she's got left to live. And then Jabulani has a passion for empowering the youth. And so he would find solutions for the youth to become empowered. And then also in his 6 months, find opportunities for those youth to pay it forward. So that he increases the empowerment of the youth. And then Jabulile would set up oncology hospitals in rural areas, in rural communities, and she would find partners in the 6 months that will help her to make the $1 billion go even further. And on my side, if I couldn't fail, I'd take the $1 billion and invest it to make $3 billion. And I would use that to do my passion, and that's connecting small businesses to corporates. And in my last 6 months, I'd spent my time traveling the world running marathons. Good, that's me.
Next group. Okay, so we've done everyone, né? Okay, so we're going to, so we've got the table of senior citizens here, né? And then we've got the table of serious people here. So, and you can see, Mos, that the serious people have got suits. So being the diplomats that they are, So, Mr. Moma, maybe I must ask you, first of all, just to introduce, everyone that is here, and then whatever the outcomes of the deliberations were that you had. You see, I'm using big words, deliberations. It's very important. Oh, will it be this side? Okay. So, perfect. If you don't mind coming this way and just introducing each of the people that are here.
Hello, everyone. excuse my emotion. Cameras, English. I come from Senegal. Those three gentlemen come from the Senegalese embassy. And Momar Tala to the far left. Here you have Abdurrahman and Michael from the American government. And my brother, that's not me, I have anything electronic. And my brother Lita from around, from South Africa around. I guess he's from Southampton. So we didn't have a lot of time because this question was raising a lot of other questions. Because only 1 billion, it will finish one day. 6 months, you may die. And from upside, be blessing the guys. And also, we tried to think as a group, which was not so easy. So, due to our different backgrounds, I am a military guy. You have a politician and diplomat. You have an economic and judicial. Themselves, very serious guys. He works even from his perspective from a tech company, partner of Microsoft, which gave us food and drinks, thanks to Microsoft and to Andile. So I will try to be military, just synthetic, more synthetic. Not easy for me, but it was question of putting the world at peace, because we have two sides. Or you are negotiating the peace, or you are making war. My favorite part. So if we had not to fail, we would put the world at peace and take the $1 billion and divide it in $20,000 and have 50,000 startups in the whole world and founding them for them to work. But as my friend Lita said, if you can hire experts to see all the problems of Africa and solve them, with even 1 billion, it will still be tricky. But don't forget,